I got 5G. I do have 5G coming to my area, but it probably will be more downtown. I didn't buy this for 5G. I bought this for the camera. Comes with a getting started guide. We're going to open this up. I don't have a fancy knife. I should probably have a fancy knife. Do some keys here. Another key. Ooh, look at that. It comes with a phone. It's got some protective plastic thingies on it. I'm gonna take these off. I'm gonna have to buy a case for this and screen protector probably. And this isn't like the Fold. You actually take these protective coverings off of it. Aha! This device is packed with a screen protector. It's pretty sleek. I've never been a fan of this edge thing, but I had a Note 7 for a little while and it worked okay. It was manageable. Would have liked to have waited for the Note 10, but as much fun as the stylus is, I don't think I really need it that much, that badly. Boy, this stuff is like stuck on there. So of course we got the power rocker, Bixby button, which I keep hearing is going to be reprogrammable, so hopefully I'll be able to change it to Google, because that's what I use. Not sure you can see that or not, but it says super fast charging on it. Output says 5 volts, 3 amps, or 9 volts at 2.77 amps. So 5 times 3, that's 15 watts. But the 9 volt times the 2.77 amps, that is just shy of 25 watts. So in order to get that 25 watts, it's actually not upping the amps, it's upping the voltage. There is an OTG connector there, so you can, I wonder if this will actually power my external drive, USB drive. Tried to power it with my LG V20 and it wouldn't work, it wouldn't power it. Maybe this one will. We'll have to see. Here's a set of headphones by AKG. I'll wonder how well they hold up to my Bose headphones. I'll have to test that out. 2.0 USB Type-C to Type-C. Why wouldn't it be a USB Type or 3.0 instead of a 2.0? This thing's supposed to be really fast. It's supposed to have high transfer rates. You'd think they'd want a 3.0 cable in there. There's something in here. Some literature. This device is packed with a screen protector. If you remove it and want to use a different screen protector, make sure it allows for use of all touch screen features. Yeah, I removed the included screen protector. But it's kind of a cheap one. I'm gonna find something better. SIM card remover. Now here's the one thing that I think this phone is missing. It's not the headphone jack, because it has one of those. It's got an external speaker there. It's got a small little speaker right there. It's got a microphone there. I'm guessing, yep, it's got a microphone there. What it's missing though is right here. It only holds one card in there, and that's the SIM card. There's no micro SD card slot. I am guessing they did that because micro SD cards are not going to keep up with the faster storage that's in there. So to make up for that, since I have over 400 gigs of storage on this phone, I bought this one with the 512 gigs because I have filled this one up a couple of times. And since this one does 4K and is really fast and all that, I might fill it up even faster. More space will help me with that, and hopefully more power will help me with powering my external hard drive that I can transfer things on and off of it real easy. Quick reference guide. When I ordered this, it came with some phones, and I'll be getting more accessories for it here soon. Find out how to get them. So since my super long USB Type-C cable doesn't have USB Type-C on the other end, I'm gonna have to stick this in here, plug the other end of it in. I'm gonna do that now. And after moving some things around, we are in business. Hey look, this phone can also be charged wirelessly. Well, thank you. Wireless charging is interesting, but I don't particularly care for it. I'd rather have a wired here. I mean, you can either plug your wireless charger into the wall, or you can just plug your phone into the wall. I'm going to plug my phone into the wall and get the faster wired charging speeds. But what I do like about it is the reverse wireless charging. So if I have a set of Bluetooth headphones that are wireless charging, or have a watch that's wireless charging, I don't have to buy a separate wireless charger. I can just charge my phone and put my other device on my phone at night, and they both charge. Should we turn it on? See how it works? Here it comes. Initializing.
Let's get started. Let me help you get set up more easily by guiding you through the steps. Let's look at the terms and conditions.
There's an optional button down here. I think they're trying to trick you into selecting that to make you think you have to select all of them, but you don't. The next button still lights up to be able to press it without pushing that one. Because this says agree to all of the above. I'm not agreeing to all of the above. I don't want my diagnostics information linked with my personal information, and it's optional, so I'm not going to do that.
You need to verify your information before activating your phone.
So now I have to put in my Verizon PIN. I'm not going to share that with you. Alright, so now it's ready to activate this phone, which means it's going to deactivate the old phone and transfer the phone number to this phone. It says I have to turn off my old phone, so I have to stop recording for a little bit. Now that this phone is activated, my old phone turning it back on is telling me that it's not activated. Telling me to call customer support to get it activated.
You can restore the settings and contents from your old device. It will not be difficult.
I really don't want to do that. I don't want to bring all the old crap over.
Wi-Fi would be quite handy here. Choose a network.
I'm not an attorney, so this is just my opinion. Important consumer information. In other words, if you put this right next to your skin and turn on full power, you could cause cancer. But if you take it 5 millimeters away from your skin, the amount of radiation your skin gets goes down drastically, and you'll be just fine. Which is why it's a good idea to use some kind of headphones, or I always put my phone down. I don't just keep it in my pocket. If I'm in the car, I have spot to put it in the car to hold on to it. If I'm at work, I put it down on the desk. If I'm home, I put it down on the table. So it's rarely in my pocket. It's rarely right next to my skin. And of course, there's things about driving responsibly in here. Don't text and drive. Terms, condition, health and safety information. Basically, don't abuse it. Don't use it in ways it wasn't intended. Blah, blah, blah. I do not say blah, blah, blah.
Once you read and agree to these, we can really get going.
End user license agreement. If you do not accept these terms, do not use the product or Samsung software. Software, the pre-installed or downloaded, that is owned by Samsung or its affiliate companies and its third-party suppliers and licensors that accompany blah blah blah. If you are under age of 13, you may not license or use this software. If you're between 13, you represent that you have reviewed with your parent or legal guardian that you are a parent. So if you're under 13, you're not allowed to have your own phone. And honestly, I think that's a good idea. My kids do not have their own phones, and they will not have their own phones for a few more years. Samsung reserves all rights not expressly granted to you. So in other words, you have a license to use this software. You do not own this software. You do not get to modify it or resell it or anything like that. And of course, they're asking you to consent to using your data. And there's a privacy policy about how they use your data. Samsung and its affiliates may collect, maintain, process, and use diagnostic, technical, and usage-related information that is gathered to provide and improve Samsung products and services. They're telling you right here, they're going to collect some data on how you use the phone, how you use the product and whatnot. And I do think it does give you some options if you opt in, right? You say you can opt in. So you do have some control over it. While they do warranty the device, they also say it is provided as is on an as available basis without warranties of any kind. So in other words, yeah, we'll fix it if it breaks, but we're not responsible for loss of use. Samsung will not be liable for any damages of any kind arising out of or related to the use or inability to use the Samsung software or any third-party applications. So, arbitration, right? If you don't agree or you have a problem with them, you don't agree with them, they're basically saying you have to use arbitration, and you have to use the arbitration company that they picked. You got to go through arbitration first. After arbitration, then you can sue them. Something about attorney's fees over $5,000 or less. You can opt out of this agreement by calling Samsung no later than 30 days from when you purchase it. And opting out of the agreement does not affect your benefits. So if you don't want to agree to all this, you can opt out. I mean, there's still, I don't think you can opt out of the licensing. They also get information from third-party sources to understand the way you use those services so that they can improve them. They can also use it to provide customized content and advertising. It's not that Samsung is giving your specific information to the advertiser. It's more that Samsung is saying that, hey, we have some users that fit a certain profile. We can target your ads to that specific group of users. Facebook does the same thing. Google does the same thing. They don't really sell your data. What they do is they sell profiles. So they have groups of people that fit certain profiles, and they sell ads to those profiles. And advertisers can pick which profiles they want to advertise to. They may share your information with affiliates. It's basically companies that Samsung has a relationship with, or some kind of common ownership or control. They can sell it to business partners, which is businesses that they trust. Service providers, that probably includes Verizon, because Verizon is actually providing the service of the cell phone. And law enforcement, when we are required to do so to protect Samsung and its users. So hopefully means a warrant. And then there's, more detailed, in-depth details here. If you want to go through all those details, I'm not going to. Do I want them to send diagnostic data? That is optional. I'm okay with that. That helps them to know how to fix issues and improve their product. I have no problem with that. It is not information that's going to specifically identify me. It could, but that's not the purpose of it, and I think they know that that's not the purpose of it, and they will hopefully not use that information for anything other than diagnostics. Here's where do you want to link it with other information? This is where it will link to your information, right? I don't want it linked to my information, so I'm going to leave that one blank. There's an optional button down here. I think they're trying to trick you into selecting that to make you think you have to select all of them, but you don't. The next button still lights up to be able to press it without pushing that one.